Okay.
All right, let's begin with the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, welcome everybody to the May 31st payday meeting. Let's move right into payday.
Okay, first,
Ashley.
I have the minutes of the 28th. Oh,
Okay, we have the minutes of Monday, May 28th. Did anyone see any corrections or additions? If not, is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Make that motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Crowfoot. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gehring. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carried 5-0.
and I'll get them printed.
No.
I forgot to print them, sorry. Okay, next we have the sales tax for May and the total amount of $93,809.22.
Okay.
Next we have, we had a payment to Elcon Properties in the amount of $1,500, and also Elcon Services in the total amount of $405.86.
Okay. Do those need to be separated out or can they be done in one?
I think they can be done in one.
Okay. Is there any questions on the invoices? Is there a motion to approve?
Okay, go ahead.
Motion by Commissioner Becker, second by Commissioner Dalkey to approve the invoices to Elcon Services and Elcon Properties. Any questions? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay.
Abstain.
So 4 in favor, 1 abstain. And we have a Western Associates,
Yeah.
2 invoices.
2 invoices in the amount of $569.44.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Gehring, is there a second? I'll second it. Any other questions?
Those jackets they ordered, are they for some special use? You know anything about it?
They're reflective for the EMTs and stuff.
They're regular jackets for to wear on
And
the.
they were for the health
Well,
department.
this one's for the health department.
Oh.
I don't know.
Not like me, Dave. Yeah.
Stay out of it.
You have no idea.
I know the health department got shirts and stuff.
These are coats.
Sorry, I can't tell you.
Wasn't there 3 on there instead of 2? So on the report it says 2.
2 extra large and 1 extra large. Looks like there's 3.
There's 3.
And then the park got some brass plate too.
I mean, it's nice to have uniforms, but sometimes I think we spend a lot of money on.
And they were talking about it when they go out, do shots, you know, places that.
Oh, okay. Okay, just a second.
We'll talk about that when budget comes.
So did we all vote?
No, we did not. Okay, any other discussion or questions? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay.
Abstained.
4 in favor, 1 abstain.
So our total payday amount for May is $2,164,622.05.
Questions on the,
I noticed that on evidently we have a $2,500 deductible on our collision.
yes.
It was raised.
That seems like a high deductible for collision.
Well,
All that
balance
does,
it with your insurance premium.
all that does is the front bumper.
Yeah, but I went to 5,000.
Yeah.
From a higher deductible, lower the yearly deal.
You gotta balance with your
I
insurance
mean,
premium.
when they come up for renewal, we ought to see what the difference is.
It's quite a bit. I'm like Randy.
Well, sometimes it is and sometimes it isn't.
Depends on the companies, I think, but mine was getting out of hand, so I had to do something. But I got 5 vehicles too.
It adds up.
Seems like we've got one in the shop every month.
Yeah.
Other questions? It's an extra large amount because of the microservicing.
Can't those are sweater jackets, you know, like they wear in the
Like
office.
cardigan.
That's what all the women wear.
Okay, any other questions on payday? If not, is there a motion to approve?
I'd make that motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Dalkey, is there a second?
Second it.
Second by Commissioner Crowfoot. Other questions or discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carried 5-0.
Sorry.
That's right. Longer arms.
You can turn it the other way.
That's fine. I might ask for it back again.
Got it?
Yeah,
Okay. Good.
yeah, we got a good. Perfect.
All right, I believe Tina emailed you guys a memo about Joel, where to place Joel on the pay plan. Did you guys get that information?
Yes. Everybody get it? All right, the motion from Monday was to prepare a pay grade scale, starting amount of 94,500. So Tina has prepared that for us. In that motion, of course, was simply to prepare the pay scale. Now the question for the commission is, do you implement it? At what level do you implement it? And when do you implement it?
Should wait till January 1 when the new county attorney takes office.
One thing that was outlined was that the new attorney would come in at level 1.
Whoever gets the election.
The current attorney is at level 3. So a question for the commission to consider is, if you implement the pay increase this year, say June, July, would you implement it for the current attorney at step 3 since he's currently at step 3? That's the question for the commission. The new attorney would come in at step, because of the experience.
If
Does that make sense?
somebody ran against, say he got in the race, and somebody ran against him and
Right.
won, they would come in at step 1.
Right.
So it should be.
But it's an experience. So the question is that how the commission would like to proceed?
Are we up for discussion?
Yes.
Just a suggestion. We're implementing if we did implement it for January 1st, like Dave Crowfoot just said, at that level, we could implement that for starting any attorney, starting January 1st. And we could give the existing, if you wanted to, you could, but I think we need to discuss maybe even more of the elected positions. But you could give a raise now, just a raise somewhere between our 75 that he makes now and 94, 6. You could give a raise now if you wanted to get him to the first of the year. Wouldn't have to go to the 94. You could,
Well, that's the question. We have not implemented the new pay scale. So currently, we're under the old pay scale, which topped out at, I think, 88.
Yeah.
So the question and the motion that we presented to Tina was prepare a new pay scale. So then do we?
implement it January 1st, but we can do anything.
Right, that's absolutely right.
Do anything between now and January 1st.
The question is, do we wanna do something today
Yeah.
for the current attorney?
Right.
Or do we wanna keep it as is?
And the other thing is, part of I think the time issue was with the election or filing deadline coming up. So I'm just asking the commission for direction. How would you like?
It was the intent of the commission to go ahead and give the pay increase now. That's the first question.
That's a good
The
question.
second question is, where does that fall in on that proposed pay plan that Tina sent us in January?
Trying to keep it as the position,
Mhm.
all I'm doing, and not consider the individual.
That was the intent of the motion,
So I'm
not looking at any
Good with-
individual.
good with Dave's putting this pay plan in effect January 1. The other topics we can discuss separately, but
All right, that's two parts.
I'm okay with that piece, the way he had it. So that's in place for whoever gets elected.
So I got, just to make sure I understand, your and Dave's position would be to approve the pay plan effective January 1, 2025. Is that?
That way it's in place for whoever gets elected.
Whoever's coming in office.
The individual we can take up on a different.
One by one.
Okay, so that means the pay plan or this pay scale would not implement until January 1. But if the commission wanted to raise
You want a
steps,
special circumstance increase, that's another question. I
Okay.
mean, I'm on board with what both these are saying about implementation on January 1. I'm good with that.
Do you take
It's
it?
already been reported to the public
Well-
that we've given it, so.
Do you come January 1st? Joan said you'll look at the individual, whether you would improve or do that, but if someone's already at a step 3, would you automatically have to raise them to step 3 in
Well,
the
yeah.
new pay plan?
Yes, you would.
Well, I'm just clarifying what's happening
You
here.
have to.
Because elected official, if you got the incumbent coming in, he doesn't have to step back and grade.
Yeah, but we'd be implementing a new pay plan. So that circumvents the old pay plan. You've got a new one in place in January 1st. So it's wherever you fall. If you've implemented that pay plan, you don't automatically go to step 3. Because that's a whole new pay plan.
Just wanting people to look at it.
Yeah.
Weigh it out here. I mean,
I think you have to keep them at the same pay grade. I was going, first year we assign people different pay grades.
Yeah, but we could implement a whole new pay plan for everybody.
Well, yeah, we could do lots of things.
It'd be where they'd fall. Just because you're a step 3 now doesn't mean you'd be a step 3, even though you're getting a pretty big pay increase.
But that is on your skills and your longevity of service is how that's figured. And that's not gonna change. I mean, hopefully your skills don't go backwards.
Well, plus your
Longevity goes forward.
your knowledge of the position. Even somebody that's been in the field for 20 years, I mean, if you change companies, you
You gotta start over
gotta
there.
learn the new customer base, you gotta learn the new everything. So yeah, you are you're a veteran in that aspect for sure.
But your pay grade has to stay the same. I mean,
That's where I'd come back to, the intent for the position was to start at the point where we put step one. Someone continuing in the position would, I come back to agree with Commissioner Crowfoot that they would have the experience in the position and should be at a higher level than someone brand new coming in.
Think about this in a different level, okay? So, I mean, I'm on board with that thought, but I'm also thinking about what Randy brought up. If we could do something before then.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So if we went ahead and raised them up in the current pay plan,
Oh,
we wouldn't wanna jump them up to the new pay plan in that same
You top
step.
them out already.
Yeah, so,
there you go.
so if we do something like that, then,
We don't wanna raise his pay grade.
then we wanna make sure January 1 that they would come in at level 1.
You can do that.
So then you're bumping now and then bumping then.
Tina suggested perhaps step one in July 2024 pay plan or pay period, and then step three in January. Like if you moved them up to the step one and then in January go to step three.
So that means you would implement it.
Implement the pay plan now.
Depends on what our budget looks like.
I could go with that.
So it comes back to where we started. Do we implement the pay plan now or wait until January 1? And the discussion went to January 1, but then coming back and do the adjustment, which you can't
If we
use the new pay
adjust
plan.
that pay plan now, what about the other departments? They're gonna say, well, okay, you did theirs, right, Randy?
Which we've done.
We're gonna hear from them before January
Yep.
1st, I
Yep.
guarantee you.
Yep. Yeah.
Then you gotta,
Yeah,
I mean, even if you give somebody a raise, just acknowledging a raise between now and January 1st, the other could do that too. But then we could do a step, see where they wanna be at step one, when they come into the new pay plan.
Yeah.
It's a tricky deal,
I don't know.
and we're not here to hurt anybody's feelings. We're here to look out for our Marion County public to see what kind of pay plan we're having. Like I mentioned last week, we have two positions up around 100,000, one at 100,000, one right below it. And somewhere, I think we have a level that we want to maintain. And if level three, I don't remember what level three was, step three, what pay on that pay plan that she's come up with.
98. It was still below 100, but
still a pretty good little bump.
not much.
Yeah, well, okay, on that, you're doing what now? Step one on the new plan?
Step
Is-
one
is
would be
what?
plan would be 94.5.
Okay,
Yeah, there you go.
okay. You copied it off, did you? The new one?
she gave it to us.
Oh, maybe it's in my deal.
You have in your briefcase.
Yeah, right where it's not supposed to be. Well, I guess that's, the 94 is where you wanna be, I guess. I don't know. That's where I was wanting to be, somewhere around in that area.
Well, you already voted on the 94, what is it for?
The vote was to develop a pay scale.
Right.
We have not approved the pay scale. So we have before us a draft proposed pay scale. And the question that's been bouncing back and forth is whether to go ahead and approve it now, implement it now, or wait and implement it.
And step three, if you did step three, when you come in his new elected position, would be 98. So,
For this individual.
for this individual.
Yes.
A new one would come in at 94. So.
Incumbent.
The incumbent currently would come in at 98. January 1.
Yeah, January, yeah. I guess I can go with that. Don't like it.
If you go
But
with what Tina suggested,
Yeah.
pay raise in
And we know we're gonna hear, we know we need to deal with other elected officials. It's kind of like our level of emergency when EMS, we responded to, the health department responded to, law enforcement responded to. I feel like we're in a bad place with the attorney as far as wages, that it needs to be addressed.
But I look at the difference between the 94 and 98, and we've already said that we can pay that. with 2 other positions.
Yes.
And so the value of this position is pretty high value,
Yes.
and I would place it up there with
Yes.
some of this, so.
And all those department heads just had to do a better job of managing their money in the future.
You know, that's different between, I keep going back to the position.
I appreciate that.
The difference between a department head appointed and a department head elected. So I'm good with the January 1, struggling with the July part, because you want the raise, you gotta run for the position.
But they will know that what we're gonna do if they wanna run for it.
Then we're not picking favorites.
I think it's,
We're
I think
adjusting
it puts us in the
for the
best
position.
position to implement that on January 1. Now, whether it's right at step 1 or you go to step 3, that's another question. But if we implement it now, we might as well figure on the next department's gonna be in. Okay, now we're gonna implement another one now. I don't think we wanna get in that position, or our pay plan becomes pretty much irrelevant.
And I
I'm
think,
just trying to be fair to the other departments
It
too.
is already outdated, I mean,
That just,
I did 2 years
we
ago.
put it in January 1. We didn't give any specific individual a raise.
Right.
There's an election. Somebody could run against
and I took Joel's acknowledgement of his salary, that he was coming in, acknowledging that he was not happy with his salary. We made an acknowledgement that we're looking to do something for it. And I hope that pleases, but if it don't, well, I guess it don't, but I hope it does. And so that's what I'm saying, in January 1st, he would know if he runs for the election and gets it,
we know where he's at.
he knows where he's going.
Nothing in the meantime?
No, I guess not. I'm gonna back down a little bit and say, no, I think that's a good plan to, at least they'll know where they'll be. And somebody else will know where they'll be if another person wants to run for the position too. I hope he runs, stays and runs.
Bringing it back to the position.
Yeah, bring it back to the position. Yeah. Guess whoever makes a motion, like,
I get it.
Even if you have to have a precinct convention, if no one runs, they still know where they're gonna come in at if somebody wants to.
Yeah.
but I'm understanding that didn't, until somebody laid it out the other day, that a judge will decide if nobody runs this position? No, really? Well, I'm hearing that.
It should
I
be-
don't know the answer.
From my understanding, it's the precinct.
Precinct first?
No, it'd be a precinct convention, but it's an elected official.
The precinct.
If we don't have one, we'll have to hire.
Well, the judge
Well, we
appoints
can't-
that maybe. Maybe that's where the judge
Well, it
comes
might
in.
be an interim, the judge could
Yeah.
appoint an interim.
Maybe that's the interim.
Then we just got hire on the open market.
I'm not even real sure about that. Maybe,
I'm not either. I just heard that and I didn't see it in writing. So,
Coffee shop talk.
well, there's a little bit better than coffee shop talk, but I don't know. I'm just saying that if that could happen, and if it does, it does.
I know I feel, by going back to just talking about the position, it feels a little cold. But I think that's where we need to be. That's my opinion.
I agree.
I guess I'd still be on the other side. I would lean toward implementing the pay plan for this position July 1st.
I like Tina's suggestion.
That was her recommendation. That way,
Show some good faith.
Well, I don't know about good faith. I mean,
Well, just something, I mean,
we've got good faith by
Support.
implementing a pay plan on January 1.
Yeah, it's guaranteeing it's out there.
I mean, we haven't even gone through the budget process yet. We're gonna have some areas of shortfall too, so.
well, you go to hiring all your county attorney work done, you're gonna find out what a shortfall really is. Okay, all right, let's get, it's time, I think we've had a good discussion, it's time to move on and make a decision, so I would make the motion to approve the proposed pay plan for the county attorney as presented, implementing it July 1st.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Time for discussion.
Had the discussion, so.
Okay, well, I wanted to give everyone,
Are you wanting,
but what am I missing?
implementing it July 1st with him at step 1 and then step 3 in January, or are you just gonna leave it
Yes,
out for now?
yes, thank you, because that's the last one I missed that. So the motion would be the current county attorney would come in at step 1 and go to step 3 at January 1. Is that okay with the second? Dave?
Yes.
Any questions on the motion? We got everything this time. Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay.
Nay.
Okay, motion failed. Got the motion in the second and the rest were opposed.
I really struggle with that nay because I know where they're coming from and I keep holding myself back to the position.
That's me too. That's.
So I make a
brought it
motion.
to our attention and we're trying to do something for it and he'll know that he will.
Okay,
I'll go this other route. I may get voted down on this one, but I'll make a motion to implement the proposed pay plan January 1. And have special consideration for the incumbent to move from the current step they are now to the current step in that pay plan. Does that make sense? On January 1, the new would start at 1, and the incumbent would start at the level the incumbent is, step-wise.
Yeah, well, that's the rules, yeah.
we have a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Dahlke. Discussion, which again, I think we've talked through. The main thing is understand the motion, and I think that was very clear. Okay, all in favor say aye.
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 Aye. All opposed, nay. Nay.
Nay,
Motion carried. Yep. All right. Good discussion. Got
It was good discussion.
result.
Yes. And
Hope
we're
there's no
looking at a
hard feelings.
position, we're looking at a position. And then later, we may look at whoever gets elected.
All right. We have one more item, I believe.
Did you get one?
I would move to approve staff preparation of a letter for the board execution and signature in response to the proposals and requests made by Mr. Buller as outlined during his meeting with Sharon Olmsted, Marion County Planning and Zoning Director, regarding the Stone Bridge project.
Second.
Oh, go ahead. We got it.
I'm gonna give it to Commissioner Dahlke.
Yeah.
He's been involved in this for a long time. So we have a motion and a second by Commissioner Dahlke. Any questions? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Motion carried 5-0.
It was a little more professionally worded for some of the things in the letter, but I was close.
Saw you over there jotting.
Yep. All right, anything else for today? Next meeting is Monday the 3rd. Okay, if there's nothing else, I move to adjourn. Second by Commissioner Garing, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed nay, motion carried 5-0, we are adjourned.
Not yet, I don't think.